Sounds like wild coyotes to me.
Hello, this is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. In this video, let's think about the wildlife as we travel the roads of British Columbia. We came from the east on the Trans-Canada Highway into Kamloops. We saw this sign of a wildlife park, so hey, we pulled in, bought a ticket, and caught the train for a ride around the park. Who wants to walk when you can ride? It was a train for kids, but adults rode it too. It was a nice, pleasant ride as we chugged around the main part of the park. And we came up to kind of a high fence here. What's that? What's that there? That's a bear. Stop the train. We want off right now. We jumped off the train to get a better look. Sure enough, it was a grizzly. Just look at that hump on its back. That is a mussel. Grizzlies originally were bears of the prairies, and that big muscle above the shoulders enabled them to dig up tree roots, claw bark off of trees to get the ants and other bugs, and claw up the ground for tasty plant roots or gophers in their holes. Early pioneers and hunters shot them off and poisoned them, or more often poisoned the wolves and all other animals, so when the bears ate the dead carcasses, they, like many birds, were poisoned too. Grizzlies retreated to the mountains eventually, where they ran into conflict with the bears of the mountains, the black bears. Grizzlies are bigger and stronger and will drive off or kill black bears. So black bears have learned to not be around if grizzlies are nearby. Did you know that a bear's sense of smell is over 2,000 times greater than yours? So don't slap on the perfume if you go on a hike. Those bears can smell you long before you ever see them. Bears are smart. A grizzly will catch a marmot, for example, and then let it go. The marmot runs away for his life, back to his home under some rocks where his family lives. The bear watches where the marmot runs and follows the marmot to his home. And now the grizzly pulls away the rocks, and instead of eating one marmot, he now has a feast of several marmots. Bears will eat fish, especially when the salmon run in the fall. They will also eat things like gophers, marmots, and insects. However, 85% of their diet is vegetation, like tree roots, plants, and grass. Wildlife, animals, and birds are being decimated by human expansion. And that is why these parks and wildlife rehabilitation centers are so important. First, they rehabilitate wild things to give them a second chance for life. Secondly, they educate people, help them understand and develop an empathy for wildlife. The park has bison, not buffalo. The word buffalo really refers to old world buffalo, like the water buffalo of India and Africa. Bison refers to North American bison, which is only distantly related to old world buffalo. Once numbering in the thousands, hunters brought the bison to near extinction. In retaliation for the disaster of Custer's last stand, the American Army set fires across the prairies to prevent bison from migrating north, thus creating starvation for Indian tribes across Western Canada. But the bison has made a major comeback, and you can see them right here. I had trouble seeing the Canadian lynx in its pen. They are very solitary animals, similar to a bobcat, but the lynx has a totally black-tipped tail, whereas the bobcat is black on the top side with a white underside. A lynx is a little bigger, weighs more, has longer legs, more pronounced ear tufts. It also has larger snowshoe-looking paws. And rabbits or hares are their favorite food. A lynx is more adapted to the backcountry, the mountains, and the deep snow, whereas a bobcat, they're more adaptable, and they've been found near human habitation, near the edges of cities and so on. This character is a fox. Now, foxes come in different colors. Foxes, like some other animals, change the color of their coats from white in winter to a brownish gray or reddish color in the summer. Whoever figured out all of these interesting, unique adaptations in wildlife was a whole lot smarter than anybody around here. At least a whole lot smarter than you. Here is a white-colored wolf. Wolf colors vary from gray to brown to white to black to a reddish color and combinations of these various colors. A wolf's smell is about 100 times greater than that of a human. The size of the smelling area in the brain of a wolf is about the size of your fist. That same area in a human brain is about the size of a pea or a marble. Now, wolves are all over the world, but humans have reduced their area by about 1/3. They are social animals and have quite a variety of communication sounds, yipping, whimpering, barking, growling, and, of course, howling. The alpha pair, male and female, lead the pack. Cubs are born blind and deaf, but after a couple of months, they do not stay that way. The Kamloops Wildlife Park has birds of prey, like golden eagles and bald eagles. In these birds, the females often are larger than males, probably to better defend the nest and eggs. Bald eagles became on the very verge of extinction due to the killer chemical pesticide called DDT. DDT was banned and the birds recovered. Chemical sprays continue to be devastating to bird and animal wildlife populations. Tell that to your local city and rural councils, and to the golf courses who spray for so-called weeds, claiming the chemical spray has no effect on wildlife. This is a Harris hawk, a fine example of utilizing a remarkable cooperative lifestyle. They will hunt as a group, help raise each other's offspring, and even care for injured fellow members of their group. There are several displays of owls. Burrowing owls will move into abandoned squirrel and badger holes, and rattlesnakes will prey on the owls in these holes. But the owls learn too. They imitate the sound of a rattlesnake to scare off other would-be predators, and life goes on in the world of the wild. And did you know that most birds have hollow bones with a crisscrossing support structure inside? Air pockets connect directly to the lungs, enabling a much more efficient breathing system. Hummingbirds migrate from Mexico. They have great memories and will return each year to the same feeder. The only bird to fly in reverse. Push the button and hear the sound. They also had this red-footed turtle from South America on display. You learn all kinds of things. Bees, for example, do not see the color red, so they see flowers differently than we do, as indicated in this display. Another display showed the life cycle of a salmon. The adult lays her eggs, and the eggs form an oleven, the first signs of life, that grows into a small fish, a fry, and the fry grows larger to what they call a smolt, and the smolt develops into an adult. There were several other displays. One was this nest of robin eggs. Adult birds do not abandon their nests, so more likely than not, maybe the mother was killed by a cat or by hitting a window pane, and someone donated the nest and eggs to the center here. And here was another exhibit. A beaver is a rodent, and its teeth keep growing, and it keeps chewing down the trees. We are in the rattlesnake display area. Rattlers inhabit this dry area of the province. Like other wildlife, their numbers are endangered by human expansion everywhere. Rattlers reproduce 4 to 20 young with an average of 8 per litter. However, a female gives live birth only once every 2 to 3 years. This is the rattle you don't want to hear. Highways are death to wildlife. High fencing channels wildlife to highway overpasses, underpasses like these, and they have proven effective in saving larger wildlife like elk, deer, sheep, and bear. But such crossings are expensive, and there are far too few. Not even fast-moving deer and moose or elk can judge high-speed traffic. Slow-moving snakes, turtles, and toads stand even less chance. Tiny amphibians lay their eggs in a wetland. Then the young move in continual danger of being crushed by highway traffic and unaware hikers and cyclists enjoying the great outdoors. Signs do help. Here is an open pipe that channels toads under a bridge to safety. This netting here channels baby badgers through a culvert and safely across a busy highway. In the meantime, slow down a little bit. Watch where you step and ride your bike a little more careful. Keep a lookout for the small things too. So this is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. Think about the wildlife as we travel across the roads of the mountains of British Columbia and elsewhere. Hit the subscribe button, and that will tell you when we're putting more videos on the internet. And in the meantime, we'll see you down the trail. To see more travel videos of mine, just Google my name, Don Barnett 5090, and click on my name first, and then click on the word playlists and scroll down. Each playlist or category contains several travel videos.